celebrities prove that it's never too late to make it big or to start over.
85 books.
Yeah.
That's amazing, Martha.
And more to come. More to come. This is,
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrity late bloomers.
Stan Lee realized that he had been writing and editing comics for half his lifetime, and he was getting nowhere.
For this list, we're looking at those famous celebrities who didn't see fame, fortune, or success until relatively late into their lives.
Bigelow, who's been making movies for more than 30 years, became known for her high-intensity action films.
We're excluding actors from this list, however, as we've already done top 10 actors who became famous when they were old.
Yeah, we'll go around the block. We'll go around the block and see your mother.
Number 10, Andrea Bocelli. This Italian classical tenor has brought significant attention to opera and classical music over the years, and his collaborations with pop stars such as Celine Dion have won him praise and awards. Bocelli began playing the piano at 6 and started developing his signature tenor voice at 7. But it wasn't until 1992, when Andrea was 34, that he sent a demo tape to Italian rocker Zucchero. Tenor Luciano Pavarotti heard the tape and kickstarted Bocelli's career, and he's since sold over 150 million albums and has won multiple awards for his music. Number 9, Kathryn Bigelow.
I was stunned, shocked, thrilled beyond belief.
Best actor,
Yes.
best screenplay, best picture, best director.
Acclaimed film director and producer, Kathryn Bigelow has directed some of the best movies of recent years, such as The Hurt Locker.
There's too many locks. There's too many. I can't do it.
And Zero Dark 30.
Your friend is an animal. Please, help me.
But it took a while for her to reach that celebrated destination. She had humble beginnings, the only child of a librarian and a paint factory manager. Her first feature-length film, The Loveless, wasn't released until she was 30, but the two that followed, while critical favorites, were box office bombs.
Mr. Duggan, do you want to open the vault, or do you want me to do it?
It wasn't until Point Break that Bigelow saw mainstream success, just 4 months before her 40th birthday. Number 8, Peaches. Meryl Beth Nisker, also known as Peaches, is an electronic musician, known primarily for her sexually suggestive lyrics, crude content, and for naming her band The Shit. Before her music was featured in films like Mean Girls,
Well, be careful because she has a huge crush on you.
Really?
or Jackass Number 2,
Stay in school, 'cause it's the best.
she was part of a small group named Mermaid Cafe. Her first solo album, Fancy Pants Hoodlum, was released when she was 27, and it wasn't until her second album, when she was nearly 32, that she took on the Peaches moniker, released The Teaches of Peaches, and saw her career finally take off. Number 7, Stan Lee.
Good morning, Dr. Krensler. Security ought to be beefed up a lot more in a place like this.
While it may seem like Stan Lee has been a comic book virtuoso his entire life, he didn't actually see popularity and mainstream success until he neared middle age.
That's something about Stan Lee. You have the feeling that he doesn't want to be bored, and he doesn't want to bore you, and consequently, everything is new and exciting.
Lee became an assistant at the company that would later become Marvel at 16, and wrote his first filler piece, Captain America Foils the Traitor's Revenge, at 18. After a few small creations, he became editor-in-chief just a few years later.
Finally, the Justice League of America caught on. Martin Goodman's sources told him about the sales figures, and he went in one day and said, well, maybe we can try superheroes.
However, DC saw a surge in popularity, which urged Lee to release the Fantastic Four in retaliation, a month before he turned 39. The rest, as they say, is history. Enough said.
Well, you know,
Some of us have it, and some of us, it's hard to explain.
Number 6, Charles Bradley. No, not the basketball coach. We're talking about the late-blooming R&B singer Charles Bradley, who has not only seen worldwide success, but was also the subject of a documentary titled Soul of America.
I ask myself why it took so long, but you can't question God when He want to do things.
In 1962, when Bradley was 14, he saw James Brown perform live, kickstarting his passion for the performing arts. He only played small shows and worked to make ends meet for most of his life, until he was noticed doing a James Brown impersonation at a small club in New York. His debut album, No Time for Dreaming, was released in 2011 when Bradley was 63. Number 5, Tim Thomas.
Holy mackerel, what a save Tim Thomas just made there!
This time we are talking about the sports guy. A free agent, Tim Thomas has played as a goalie for the Boston Bruins, Florida Panthers, and Dallas Stars.
Shoot, stopped by Thomas, who was way out of the crease.
Thomas played college hockey from 1993 to 97, until moving to Finland to goaltend in that country's equivalent of the NHL.
What a stop!
He didn't make his NHL debut with the Boston Bruins until 2002, when he was 28 years old. But it wasn't until several years later, in 2005-2006, that he became the Bruins starter. Your early 30s might not seem too old on paper, but it can often be retirement age for hockey players.
And they pour on to celebrate with Tim Thomas, their heroic goaltender.
Number 4, Ang Lee.
I was very repressed as artistically in any which of art, but movie is kind of the only thing I could watch like once or twice a week.
A film director, writer, and producer, Ang Lee has made major waves in Hollywood with the successes of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Brokeback Mountain, among others. Born and raised in Taiwan, Lee moved to the United States when he was 25 to follow his passion for drama.
I grew up believing you should care for your parents the way they care for you. My father is a part of me.
His first feature, Pushing Hands, was released in 1992 when Lee was 38 and was a success in Taiwan.
Where is your heart? What do you know of my heart? What do you know of anything but your own suffering?
It wasn't until 1995's Sense and Sensibility, however, that Lee began his lucrative career in Hollywood and saw mainstream American success at 41.
I never felt rebellious until I was like 45. I started making martial art films.
Number 3, Leonard Cohen.
I loved you for your beauty, but that doesn't make a fool of me. You were in it for your beauty too.
Leonard Cohen is a true jack of all trades. Songwriter, musician, monk, painter, poet, and novelist. You name it, he's done it. Known primarily for his music, Cohen's work has appeared in movies like Natural Born Killers.
I've seen your future, brother. It is murder.
And his song Hallelujah is considered a masterpiece.
Love is not some kind of victory march, no. It's a cold and it's a very lonely hallelujah.
Disappointed with his writing career, Cohen moved to New York and became a member of Andy Warhol's Factory Group in the 60s.
First, we take Manhattan. Then we take Berlin.
Columbia Records took notice, and he released his first album, Songs of Leonard Cohen, at 33. Over 40 years later, and now in his 80s, Cohen is still going strong.
Everybody knows that you've been faithful. Give or take a little, night or two.
Number 2, Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart was indicted on criminal charges relating to an insider trading scandal that began more than a year ago.
Before the whole stock trading fiasco that landed her in jail, Martha Stewart saw major success in business ventures, cookbooks, and television shows.
It'll be done when the juices in the center of the pie are bubbling. Allow 40 to 60 minutes.
Stewart started as the co-founder of a catering company, until she was hired to cater a book release party for Harry and Abrams Inc. Fate was on her side, as it was there she met Alan Merkin, the head of a publishing company, who asked her to write a cookbook.
You don't have to do this, but my mother always gave us a little dollop of ice-cold sour cream on top of our macaroni and cheese.
Entertaining was released in 1982, when Stewart was 41. It was that book that began her ascent to fame and fortune, so it was definitely a good thing.
You have a new book, Appetizers. It's Martha's 85th book. 80! Wow!
Before we unveil our #1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
What do you actually think money has done for you? What does it do?
It frees you. That's what it does, it frees you.
Rushing at a kid just to be grown up. Yeah. Daft Punk is playing at my house, my house.
#1, Susan Boyle.
I'm trying to be a professional singer.
And why hasn't it worked out so far, Susan?
I've never been given the chance before, but here's hoping it'll change.
When Susan Boyle sauntered onto the stage of Britain's Got Talent in April 2009, she was literally laughed at by the hosts, judges, and audience members alike.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by.
It wasn't until she perfectly belted out I Dreamed a Dream that everyone fell slack-jawed and clapped in amazement.
Susan Boyle, you can go back to the village with your head held high. It's 3 S's.
7 months later, her debut album, I Dreamed a Dream, was released, charting at #1 across the world.
It's like a Hollywood movie, but this time it's real life.
A true underdog story. Susan Boyle is an inspiration to us all, showing us that we can follow our dreams and stay strong, even in the face of laughter. Do you agree with our list? Who are your favorite celebrities that had a late start?
So just want to make another movie so my life doesn't get lost.
For more inspirational top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.